City volunteers plan to launch a work for relief program in the aftermath of Typhoon Goni. A developmentally challenged boy with leukemia gets a second chance at life. Welcome to the Headlines. I'm Surisu. Thank you for joining us. Typhoon Goni devastated parts of the Philippines. City volunteers went to the worst hit area and Batangas to assess damage. Affected residents have already started cleaning work, but the progress is slow since they don't have large machinery. City volunteers plan to launch a work relief program and mobilize 500 people to speed up the cleanup work.
The road was muddy and full of debris, and there was even standing water in some streets. City volunteers set off at 6 o'clock in the morning and went to severely damaged Batangas, which is 110 kilometers away from Manila. Residents have begun cleaning work, and the government has also sent people to assist, but the progress is slow due to the lack of machinery.
We can rent 2 bobcats and 2 large trucks to clear the mud. We can also host the work for relief program so residents can help their community.
When a storm came, the flood was nearly as high as a person. Hence, the residents' homes were a mess. Tzu Chi plans to mobilize 500 people within 2 days and host a work for relief program so that they can earn money to rebuild their homes. Apart from Batangas, Albay province has more than 10,000 families affected by the disaster and is in urgent need of assistance. Manila Tzu Chi volunteers have set off to work with local volunteers to speed up relief work.
They really need these old clothes, maybe the blankets and food to eat also. The government doesn't have many machines, so it may take a long time for the government to clean up.
As Typhoon Goni is coming, Philippines Tzu Chi volunteers have quickened their relief work so as to make the affected residents feel at ease as soon as possible.
As we mentioned, the Philippines was struck by Typhoon Goni, and the damage is serious. Dharma Master Zheng Yan called for everyone to gather their love. City hospitals and City Humanitarian Culture Center held blessing ceremonies to send help to the Philippines.
Everyone put their hands together and chanting prayers sincerely. Medical staff and volunteers from Hualien Tzu Chi Medical Center gathered together to pray for Filipino residents affected by the typhoon. The attendees even expressed their love for them with actions, hoping that every accumulation of kindness can become support for people affected by the disaster to stand up again.
Everyone knows that the Master said that saving 50 cents a day can teach Buddhism, and saving a handful of rice can save people.
In the meantime, medical staff from Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital also gathered in the hall.
In the morning, the Master said in a choked voice that she hopes that everyone can gather the energy of love again, and that this love can help the folks in the Philippines. And also, Tzu Chi planned to launch the Work for Relief program to help them get rid of suffering and rebuild their homes.
In Taichung, Tzu Chi medical staff also donated the bamboo coin banks that they have been saving to send love to the Philippines.
It's good that we can gather this donation of love, but we don't want to see the world filled with disasters. What more can we do to help?
In Chiayi, everyone also showed their love and blessings, hoping that the disaster can be kept away.
Everyone responded one after another. We just want to gather with love and not just for a minute. We hope that everyone's kind thoughts, whether it's prayers or loving actions, can be brought together. We all use love to calm the sufferings of all beings due to disasters.
Tzu Chi Humanitarian Center also launched a blessing event to help the Philippines. Whether it is holding the bamboo coin banks or donating money, the staff showed a spirit of compassion, calling on everyone's love and gathering all strength, hoping to help affected residents of the Philippines to rebuild their homes soon.
Forest fires in Southern California threaten Chinese-American communities in Irvine. Half of the population was evacuated. City volunteers distributed air purifiers and masks to those in need. Let's take a look.
When I first saw the fire, I was pretty shocked and scared. It felt like I was in a movie or a dream.
In Irvine, where there is a large Chinese American population, the forest fire evacuation order encountered coronavirus pandemic problems as most of the residents found safe housing by themselves. Tzu Chi immediately activated a care program distributing air purifiers to groups who had to be evacuated.
This is the second time for them to escape. When you see hardship, you'll find happiness. You didn't know when you were fleeing how quiet your house is and how it used to be boring. In fact, peace, as Master says, is a blessing.
The Orange County Liaison Office of Tzu Chi also mobilized volunteers to pack 1,000 anti-epidemic mask packages. For 5 hours, they worked going to 2 large supermarkets to distribute them to people in need.
Today happens to be Halloween in the United States. We use masks instead of candy, and many folks feel very moved.
In addition to the mask, I also made a special card for information. Then this is also especially put in another bag, just to keep it away from the mask. At the same time, there are small cards to encourage everyone to eat vegetables, and the Master's Jingsi aphorisms are also here.
It's making the air quality even worse. Luckily, we're already all wearing masks, but it's really sad to see the damage that this is causing. And hopefully we can get everything under control and come together as a nation and people, everybody.
The sky is gray again, and their hearts are still open as difficulties must still be overcome.
Since the pandemic happened in the United States, about 1/5 of the citizens have lost their jobs. Thankfully, Tzu Chi in Chicago continues to care for all those in need. Here's more.
Far away from the hubbub of the city, Rantoul Township is about 2 hours away from Chicago, Illinois by car, and most of the residents there are from low-income families.
This is Cultivators Mission Center. I am the director here. We provide food to the community, predominantly the Latino and the migrant community.
Okay, go ahead.
We also have a daycare for their children. We do social services, interpretation services for them. And we help, majority of the people we help is the undocumented people. But since COVID-19, the numbers of people unemployed, we have more people coming because they need food.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
Instant rice, instant noodle, vegetable, fruit, mask. Also, the mask, okay?
Thank you so much.
I feel better and I feel safe about the information. Yes, and about the mask. I feel safe. Thank you.
Despite being of a different religion, Tzu Chi still sends love to the Little Sisters of the Poor, a Catholic religious institute for women taking care of the poor elderly.
I was very excited when I heard that you were going to donate PPE because we are truly concerned about the supply. The pandemic, as you know, has really hit older people in nursing homes very hard, and it hit us very hard as well. It was extremely sad. We know our elderly people are very, very fragile and very vulnerable. This is a great blessing, and you're just instruments of God, and we know He always sends us good people in the time of need. And it brings out the beauty and the goodness of all the different cultures who unite together to be instruments of God's love and help for others.
Tzu Chi volunteers send love to forgotten corners, and religion has provided the emotional support that people need in times like this.
Tzu Chi volunteers promote stem cell donation. They hold stem cell registry blood drives in different communities, and they also go to companies to promote the concept. Recently, a Tzu Chi volunteer in Taoyuan went to enterprises to encourage young people to sign up as potential stem cell donors. Employees from a high-tech company listened to Tzu Chi volunteers explain the importance of donating stem cells to help patients. After the talks, some employees register as potential stem cell donors.
About
1/3 of our colleagues have participated in the stem cell registry blood drive. The group action can inspire other people. While an individual might not do this, in an enterprise, if there's 1 or 2 people taking the lead, other people will be influenced.
A
Tzu Chi volunteer in Taipei has a business in Guishan and Luzhu districts. Therefore, he has invited more than 20 people to sign up.
As Tzu Chi promotes stem cell donation, they go to business enterprises. Tzu Chi volunteer in Luzhu also hold a stem cell registry blood drive at Guangming High School.
I am very grateful to other volunteers, including volunteers in training. They have been very mindful. As they deliver merchandise, they also invite people to sign up. So, many young people support the cause.
In the past, I only knew about the traditional way, which is extract bone marrow from the backbone. Later, I learned that it could be done through blood donation, so I felt at ease.
The potential stem cell donors donate 10 cc of blood and place their information into the data bank. Maybe one day they'll have the opportunity to give patients a second chance at life. On October 31st, a reunion was held for stem cell donors and recipients at the Kaohsiung Jingsi Hall. The youngest recipient was 6, while the oldest was 65. Let's join them there.
Playing a song on his ukulele, 8-year-old Xiao Chu wants to thank the person who saved his mother's life.
Thank you to the one who saved my mother's life, so that she can be there when I grow up.
It's such a coincidence for this pairing.
The 2 of them are both from the same Tzu Chi nursing school. She was a graduate of Tzu Chi nursing school, and she is currently working in Tzu Chi nursing school, which has restructured as Tzu Chi University of Science of Technology.
Now 11 years old, Li Yiliang was diagnosed with a blood disease when he was 1. His family thought they might lose him, but his angel came along.
哥哥好了，来抱一下。
I had an inkling it was a child, because when I donated the peripheral blood stem cell, the amount they took wasn't that much.
People had told us to give up on him, but we never thought that way.
Another is Chen Qiuqing, who was going through a rough marriage. When she was diagnosed with leukemia, her family thought the kids would not have a mother to grow up with in the future.
Thank you because of your great love. I have felt warmth in society, so thank you very much.
The most grateful person at this reunion may be donor recipient Zhang Qingyuan from Nantou. He brought his whole family of 34 members to thank his donor. It's not really just saving a life, but saving a whole family, as one selfless act has bonded these families together forever.
In our series about leukemia patients getting a second chance at life, we'll take a look at a 5th grader. He's developmentally challenged and lags behind his younger brother because he was diagnosed with leukemia. Fortunately, he was able to find a matching stem cell donor.
When I was donating, I learned that you were a child. But Tzu Chi aunt told me that the bone marrow in my body can treat your illness, and I agreed immediately.
很巧遇，我的血跟你一模一样。
It's a coincidence. My mirror is exactly the same as yours.
健健康康。
So I can grow healthily and meet you.
Playing on this playground with no moment to pause is a child with thick-rimmed glasses named Yiliang, who is at the age of 11, about the same size as his brother, who is 2 years younger.
骨龄鉴定出来只有7岁。
The age from his bones was identified as being only 7 years old, and his developmental ability was just 7 years old.
放射师就有说。
The radiologist said if he does radiation treatment, it will affect his brain development and fertility. I said that those are not important. He needs to be healthy.
身体健康。
就是这个啦。
不是啦，大的那个文件夹的，我怎么知道你哪来去？
Crossing many challenges in life with the support of a patients association and parents, Yiliang uses paintings to express hope.
你画了几张？
不知道。彩虹。
还有呢？
太阳。
你要不要进去卖披萨？
这你做的哦？
我和弟弟做的。
一块披萨多少钱？
这上面有写啊。
Going from his drawings on paper, this kid quickly moves to the work that he is most proud of, this pizza house. He proudly shows it in front of the camera. He plays with it, and soon his father returns home at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
你不是在卖披萨，不是带玩具呢。
看我儿子发病。
When my son became ill, I almost didn't have any money. Both of us were really like almost broke.
At the bottom of life, husband and wife gritted their teeth, and fortunately, some of the community groups helped lead them to rebirth.
In the early days, our subsidy was about $3,000 US, and at the end, we gave it all to them.
When my son was saved, we learned to cherish things more.
从这个电路板的布线到最后的检测，甚至到最后的焊接。
The donor, Chen Youwei, is an electronic engineer who knows that a seed planted in college some 20 years later would unexpectedly grow into a tree that shelters a happy family.
个性会不会跟我一样？
Will the recipient have the same personality as me? Will his behavior be the same as mine? Of course, if his behavior is like mine, I would congratulate him for being able to study science and engineering.
In Malaysia, the King Rara Recycling Station has been established for 9 years. Recently, volunteers are planning to upgrade the station. Volunteers also draw murals as a symbol of hope.
我们有3大民族，还有我们的慈济志工。
Painting the murals diligently, every stroke of the paintbrush represents the hopes for the future recycling station.
All of us are practicing environmental protection just to save our planet. We encourage everyone to come, no matter it's the elders or the children, all are welcome.
The Kinrara Recycling Station in Puchong has been established for 9 years. It's going to be upgraded to add an educational exhibition area soon. Tzu Chi volunteers invited the local government officials to witness this historic moment.
A lot the recycle centers to do more recycle things and then teach for the residents about the recycle things. What is the recycle? How to stop the illegal dumping and illegal throwing the rubbish in a certain area.
By improving the infrastructures, it is hoped that more people can head to the recycling station to carry out recycling work.
We're going to pave a road here so that when there's visitors, they will have a wider space to walk.
The land at the back is lower, so whenever it rains, it will be flooded. So now we are trying to fill up that part of the land so that the water can flow outwards.
Environmental protection is meant for everyone. Regardless of your age and race, the murals on the walls is a vision, hoping to encourage everyone to contribute in loving our planet.
In Taiwan, the 140th Jingzi Reading Room has been established at Taoyuan's Chenggong Elementary School. After 2 years of hard work by the volunteers, the reading room was finally completed.
With the applause and smiles from the teachers and students, the Jingsi Reading Room in Taoyuan's Chenggong Elementary School is officially launched.
We hope that more children are able to have access to reading books, no matter they are in the city or in the countryside. Through reading, they are able to nurture their wisdom, paving a smoother path for them in the future.
Volunteers spent 2 years preparing and collecting donations in order to make this possible. The Jingsi Reading Room in Chenggong Elementary is also launched on the 60th anniversary of the establishment of the school.
Reading can help us discover many different things in life. In the future, if all the children here can cultivate the habit of book reading, I believe that your life will definitely be very exciting and meaningful.
I'm very thankful towards the love from the community. I think that not only is the Chenggong Elementary School blessed, but also the people in our community are also very blessed. With the efforts of all people, we're able to have this really nice reading room.
With over 500 different types of books, not only the students can indulge themselves in the sea of knowledge, the nearby community residents can also enjoy the fun of reading.
Taoyuan City volunteers recently held a morning exercise event at Hutosan Sports Park. At the event venue, they served tea and performed music instruments, delighting the seniors. As it gets bright, there are a lot of people at Hutosan Sports Park, exercising or drinking tea. There's also the smell of coffee, which refreshes people.
I feel very healthy and joyful to come here today.
It is very good. This is exercise. It allows seniors to stay healthy.
Taoyuan City volunteers have held a senior morning exercise event on a holiday. City's honorary board members from Kaohsiung take to the stage to share their humorous talks.
We meet you in the morning, at noon, and at night. Because we volunteer with Tzu Chi, we see each other very often.
There's also having faith, making vows, and taking actions. The eldest one is faith, the second one makes vows. They asked me to take actions. The master said the three must act together.
There's also a performance of the saxophone, bringing a joyful atmosphere to the venue.
I've always hoped to perform music to form good affinities with the public.
To prepare for this event, the volunteer team set up the venue in the dark.
As it was still dark, we had to bring headlights and place the wires from the platform up there.
With the volunteers' joint effort, the event attendees enjoyed a morning of exercises and music performance. In the aftermath of Typhoon Goni in the Philippines, city volunteers initiated a work relief program in Batangas. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.